welcome back. This evening I plan on doing an overnighter in my camping hammock. Nothing crazy, I'm just camping out in the backyard. We've got a 3-day weekend from school, from work, and I just wanted to go camping. A little hard to do with a 1-year-old, so I've got a couple trees in the backyard. It's kind of away from the house. Plan on getting a little campfire going and seasoning some of my cast iron. But I want to remind you guys that this is not a show about camping. It's not a show about hammock camping or seasoning cast iron. Think of it more of just a snapshot into my life's many adventures. And I'm your host, Chris Cottrell, and you're watching The Dabbler's Den. So before I head out and start setting up my gear, I'm going to try to film all that, but I wanted to show you real quick while I was in my little makeshift studio, the things that I have in my pack. First of all, this pack is huge. I've only used it a few times though. That's one of the things about a dabbler is you acquire things and you never know when you're going to use them. But just real fast, I want to show you guys what was in here. This is a little pack I hang from my Ridgeline. It just has some makeshift things like a flashlight, pocket knife. I've got some eating utensils. That's all in here. I also want to say that I'm not a big hiker. If I do take this stuff out, it's usually on the back of a motorcycle or in my Jeep, so I'm not really that concerned with weight. I know a lot of you hiker guys, you weigh things down to the ounce, and I'm not there yet. So. I don't know if I'll ever be there. Again, I'm a dabbler. I just kind of get into this stuff. I'm always eager to try out new things. So, feel free to fill me in. So the first thing I have in here is my tarp. It's actually in some snake skins. I'll show you how they work when I get outside. The snake skins basically just kind of fold over the tarp itself and make it easier to store. This is my underquilt. I'm not going to pull it out here. I'll show you outside. My underquilt, this is what keeps me warm on the underside of the hammock when you're sleeping. A lot of people, when they look at people hammock camping, how in the world do you stay warm? Tonight it's supposed to get down to like 30 something degrees, 34 degrees. Not quite freezing, but we are under a hard freeze warning. This is what keeps my underside insulated so that I'm not freezing to death while I'm out in the hammock tonight. Here's a little camp chair that I'll show you out there. It does hold my weight, but honestly, I'm not quite sure how often I want to test this out. What I really end up using this for is a little end, like a side table outside my hammock. I like to put a few things outside, maybe a water bottle or something like that, within arm's reach of my hammock. And that's what this usually ends up being. Here's the hammock itself. This is a Grand Trunk Skeeter Beater Pro. I have done a few modifications to this, which I'll show you. It does have a bug net. Grand Trunk is awesome, by the way. When I first got one of these, I ordered it off of Amazon. The first time I got in it, the bug net ripped, and I don't know if it was my fault or if it was manufacturer's, an issue with them. But I sent it in. I emailed the company, and they got back with me. They told me, hey, even though you bought it from Amazon, send it back. We'll take care of you. They sent me a brand new one out right away. And on top of that, when they sent me this back, for my troubles, they included this little travel pillow. So it was really cool of them. Again, I don't know if it was my fault or not. I don't think it was. I just sat in it for the one time and it got a rip in it. But they were really cool about taking care of me and making sure that that you know, I was happy at the end of the process. And I'm a Skeeter Beater Pro Grand Trunk spokesman now, I guess. You know, thanks to Grand Trunk, so I have one of these too. All right, so the first thing I like to do is I've got these tree straps from Eno. Now the hammock itself comes with its own stuff sack. It's actually attached to it. So I'm just gonna try to pull out half of it. And in here I have my carabiner that's gonna attach to one side. Here it is. I wanna make sure my zipper's on the outside. This is gonna be my outside tonight. I plan on putting up a fire over here. Now the hammock itself doesn't come with a Ridgeline. I actually burned a hole very carefully into one side and sewed on a piece of webbing right here, and I hand sewed it. You know, it didn't take me very long. Made sure it was sewed in through both sides. Took a nail, heated up really hot, poked a hole, and once it dried, I ran this cord all the way through and made my own Ridgeline. Now I got it where I want it. I'm gonna go ahead and hang my tarp now. I've got these little clips that I got from Harbor Freight. Not very expensive, they're really cheap. I'm not putting any weight on them, it's just the tarp. So that's on. Now, I mentioned before that I have snake skins on there. These snake skins are really easy. They're just basically envelopes of fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and fold that out, and you'll see how easy that is. There you have it, folks. I mean, that's pretty much it. You know, you've got the tarp, it's protecting you from the wind. This is the underquilt. This is actually a synthetic underquilt made by Arrowhead equipment. It's supposed to keep you really warm. I've used it a couple times and it definitely did keep me warm. And again, the main thing here is to keep you insulated from the bottom. So once I get in, I'll readjust it. Make sure that it's not too tight against the skin, but just tight enough where it can put a layer of air between me and the outside, and it can warm up with my body heat. They also make top quilts. One of these days I'll get one. They're a little more expensive, so for right now I'm just using a wool blanket and a fleece comforter. Again, it's supposed to get pretty cold tonight, so hopefully that'll keep me warm. This is that pillow I mentioned. It's a good sized pillow. I mean, it opens up, perfect for a hammock. It sits right in there, packs down pretty small. Hey, if you have to have a pillow, this is a great alternative. This is that little cam chair I was talking about. This thing has been pretty awesome, actually. Like I said, I don't trust it fully to sit in all the time. In a pinch, it'll work. But you know, for having like a little end table on the outside of my hammock, it's been great. One thing I did do, modified a little bit, was I bought these little tiny tennis balls and cut them so that the legs don't sink into the ground. There you have it, that's it. I mean, that's how it works. Just to prove to you that it'll support my weight. I'm gonna have a quick seat in it. There you have it. So for a pinch it'll work. This will work. It is comfortable. It's pretty good. All right, so got my fire going, got my hammock set up. I'm pretty much set to go for the night. I'm going to set those cast iron pots, the Dutch oven and the pans, get those cooking over that fire. Again, I'm not really cooking anything. I'm just heating up the Crisco that I put in there, and just letting it just soak into the cast iron and really get that good and seasoned so it's ready to go next time. Right now, I wouldn't want a cobbler out of that pot at all. All right, so I'm getting ready to crawl into bed. I'm not gonna be able to film that. That requires two hands. So, but I do want to point out a few things before I hit the sack. First thing are some slip-on shoes. Got to make sure. There's my shoes I've been wearing. You know, you never know how often you got to hop out of the hammock to go use the bathroom or whatnot. So having a pair of slip-on shoes is pretty important. I've got my blankets right there. Like I said, I'd like to be able to get a top quilt at some point, but for right now, a wool blanket and a fleece blanket are what I got. Boy, I tell you what, I haven't even pulled in blankets in here yet, but just laying down in this hammock, it feels so good. Just takes all the pressure off my back. Man, I feel great. Just I know it's gonna be a good night's sleep tonight. Yep, it's gonna be a good night's sleep tonight. All right, so it's day 2. It's a beautiful day out today. Let me just do a quick pan if I can. Now, one of the huge benefits of camping in your own backyard is when temperatures get close to freezing at around 12:30 at night. I've got a nice warm bed inside, so yeah, I did have a little hard time keeping my feet warm, mainly because I'm using the 2 blankets that I had. I couldn't get them just right, and so it's really one of the reasons why I need to get a top quilt. They have a foot box, so you can actually slide your feet right in there, and it keeps them nice and warm. And I just couldn't get that together last night. So that's next on the list as far as hammock camping is concerned. So, anyways, it's time for me to go ahead and pack up all this stuff. All right, guys, well, thanks for tuning in. You've been watching the Dabbler's Den. Thank you for watching this snapshot of one of my life's many adventures. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up, feel free to share it, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. This channel is a work in progress, so I would appreciate constructive feedback and suggestions in the comments below. Once again, I'm Chris Cottrell. You've been watching the Dabbler's Den. And bottom line, YouTubers, just get out there and do something.